Problem 16. The roots of the polynomial given below are the height, length, and width of a rectangular box. A rectangular prism, or whatever you want to call it. A new rectangular box is formed by lengthening each edge of the original box by 2 units. What is the volume of the new box? So obviously, if we're told that the roots of this polynomial are the dimensions, then we should probably try to find the roots. And to do this, there's not really a good way to factorize, except with the rational root theorem. So the rational root theorem basically says that potential solutions to the quadratic equation are simply factors of the constant, all divided by potential factors of the a term. Now, what I mean by this, the a term is the highest, is the coefficient of the highest power. In this case, the highest power is x to the third, so the coefficient is 10 for a, but the constant here is -6. So what it basically says is that potential solutions to this given polynomial, right, would be the factors of 6 or -6, so plus minus 2 and plus minus 3, over the factors of positive 10, which are 2 and 5. So if we were to list it out, x could potentially be 1, -1, 2 over 5, -2 over 5, 3 over 2, -3 over 2, and then it could be what? It could be 3 over 5, comma, -3 over 5. So we just have to test each one to find out which one is the solution. And don't worry, it's actually not that bad. If you were to plug in 1, right, that would be 10 minus 39 plus 29 minus 6. It's just basic algebra. So 10 minus 39 is -29 plus 29 is 0. So 1 fails because it's not 0. Likewise, -1 would fail. But what about 2 over 5? If I have 2 over 5, then let's scroll down a bit. So that would be 10 times 2 over 5 cubed, right? And then it would be minus 39 times 2 over 5 squared. And then it would be plus 29 times 2 over 5. And then it would be minus 6. So if we simplify this, would this give 0? Well, if we were to simplify this one, that becomes 8 over 125, which eliminate with 10 to get, if you divide by 5, right? That would be 2, and then this would be 25. So this would become, that would become 16 over 25 minus 25 here, and 39 times 4, so 39 times 4 would be 156, and then we would add 29 times 2 over 5. But wait, everything is in the denominator of 25, so let's change that into something base 25. That would mean we need to multiply out 5 in the numerator, which gets 290. So that's very simple. And then minus 25, and then we get 150. So if this evaluates to 0, then we have a root. Well, if we were to evaluate these two, that would be negative 140 over 25. And this one would be plus 140 over 25. So guess what? We have a root when x is equal to 2 over 5. If x is equal to 2 over 5 is a potential root, that means we can factor out x minus 2 over 5. Because when x is 2 over 5, the function must give 0. So if we factor this out, we would have some term left over. And to find out what that term is, let's do synthetic division. So that's 10x cubed, minus 39x squared plus 29x minus 6. So synthetic division is pretty simple, right? It's just basic division except with variables. So this is a coefficient of 10, and we need a coefficient of 10 here and get it to the x cubed. So we multiply by 10x squared to get 10x cubed minus 4x squared. Now we do subtraction, so this becomes negative 35x squared plus 29x. But then that's negative 35, so we must minus 35, but the power must be x squared, so x. So that becomes negative 35x squared plus 14x, which gets you 15x minus 6. So then we need a factor of 15, so we add 15 to get 15x minus 6, which cancels out to be 0. So after we factor out x minus 2 over 5 from this polynomial, we are left over with 10x squared minus 35x plus 15, which is easy to factorize, because we can first factor out a constant of 5 to get 5x minus 2 over 5 times 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. Now, this is very simply factored into very nice numbers. 1, 2, negative 3, negative 1 gets negative 6, negative 1. Sum that together, we get negative 7. So this would equal the negative 7, the coefficient of the x term. So this is a valid solution, where this is the coefficient of x, and that's the constant. So this becomes 5x minus 2 over 5 times x minus 3 times 2x minus 1. Now that we have factorized this entire polynomial, we know the roots. The roots are 2 over 5, right? X is equal to 3, and x is equal to 1 over 2. But since we must sum 2 on everything and then multiply them together to get the volume, we could do that, because now we know the numbers for what they actually are. So this would become 5 and 12, and this would become 5, this would become 5 over 2. Multiplying together, the 5 and 5 gets canceled, and then the 2 and the 12 can get canceled and simplified into 6. So we have 6 times 5 to get 30. Therefore, our answer choice would be answer choice D.